Right then, so today we are going to be doing some work on the Honda. As you can see, we've got some nice weather strips here, or waste rails, whatever you want to call them. However, this is, push that down, wipe that down should I say. This is a good side. I've just replaced this one, which looks a lot better than what this one was down here. You can see the rubber has started to go hard, and eventually it will crack like it has done on the other side and rusted away. So they're well, all the clips are broke on that one, so yes, that's not really ideal, but we do have brand new set of clips anyway, so if I do break any I won't have to worry too much. If we just come around here, as you can see, this is what I'm talking about here. You've got this, and then it just corrodes because, well, obviously sun damage, UV damage. Plastic goes hard, starts to crack, and then it basically exposes the metal underneath, and then it rusts. So this one's probably the worst. And yeah, we've got a set of 4 replacements, which is very hard to come by in good condition. We open the door here. We need a bit of cleaning because they're a bit mossy, but they are much better condition than the ones that I have on right now. So I'm very chuffed I've found them. Facebook Marketplace for these, which is surprising because we all know what Facebook Marketplace is like regards to car parts and cars in general. So I was pretty lucky to find these, especially with all the clips intact. So there we go. Right then, so I've just cleaned up these waste rails or weather strips, whatever you want to call them. What I've done is I've used a bit of interior shampoo on the fabric side, which is pressed up against the glass, just to get rid of all the moss and all the stains on it. That's, you know, from dirt getting trapped underneath. And then obviously rubber and vinyl care on top here. I'll probably apply another coat on actually when it's on. But yeah, that's all good. So we'll fit this now. Right then, so to get these off, for starters, you want to open the door, ignore all the rubbish inside. This is all just bits and bobs from the car or for the car. So yes. Right, so we want to pay our attention to this area here. With a little black clip here. For some reason this one's broken. It's all plastic. So there we go. And then if we pull back this, you can see there's a screw there. And then if we run our fingers along down here, there's another one there. And then there's one right down at the bottom, just here. So there's 3 screws all together, and then in between there's clips that are holding this black pillar trim in. Right, so hopefully, without the camera getting in too much of the way, you can see here, it's a Phillips head screwdriver. And it's quite awkward because this has to be out of the way. There we go. It's only a really small, stubby little thing, but it holds the trim on, so yeah. There we go. That's one out. I'll do the rest. Right then, so all the screws are out. Now, obviously, you want to be very careful. There's some clips here. This one feels a lot more intact, so we want to be careful here. But we need a trim removal tool to get that off, so we'll get one of them now. So, you want to find the clips. And very slowly not do that. That's annoying. So that is actually really annoying, that. I think that one stayed in. I think. Yeah. Well, that's alright then. Well, it's half hanging out, but I'll leave that there. I don't want to start messing around with that. Right, so that's off. As you can probably tell, it's a bit of a pain because you resort to risking breaking clips, so just bear in mind that, as I say, it's very old plastic, 20 odd year old plastic, it's going to snap. So there we go. Okie dokie, so that should give us some room to get access to this here, which there is a little clip that is in the door. Right, after finding the bloody trim removal tool, it was right in front of me in the end of it. This is the only one I've got on at the minute, so I don't know where the rest have gone. I believe the majority of them are in the shed, so this is probably the only good one we've got, unfortunately, at the minute. But we'll try and use it as much as we can. As I say, you can get trim removal tools pretty cheap, so it shouldn't be too bad, really. You just want to make sure that you get it in the right place. It ain't playing ball today on this side. The other side came off really easy. Broke that one. Not to worry. Now these, obviously, they're knackered, so I'm not really bothered about bending them or breaking them. But obviously, if yours are good and you want to paint them or whatever, be a bit more less brutal than me. See, actually, it's the clips I want to make sure that it's the blue clips I want to make sure I don't break. I think that one just survived. Yeah, it's just got a leg broken there, but that's not really that bad. So obviously, now well, I've got one more here, and it should just slide out from underneath the wing mirror. Yeah, as you can see, it's all covered in crap as well on the other side. And yeah, it's pretty knackered, that one, so I'm not even going to attempt to restoring that. So we'll just wipe down all this muck and grub and crap that's been built up for 25 odd years. Right, so we'll just give it a wipe down, get rid of all that crap. I do need to replace this wing mirror at some point as well, because it's got a crack in the plastic, which is quite annoying. So yeah, we'll do that at some point. Let's see if we can find one the same colour. It'll work out a little bit easier if I can find one the same colour. I won't have to paint it. It's really stuck on, is that crap? Bloody hell. I suppose you can just get the jet wash down here. There we go. go. I mean, that's better than nothing. Not perfect, but it's better than nothing. Right. The new trim. All nice and clean. Clips are in good condition. So yeah, let's fit this one on. Right then, hopefully you can see what I'm doing here. So obviously we've got this side here with a white clip that sits into this hole here, and then what really we want to be doing is getting it so that this can be quite awkward, but these need to go in place, and that slides in like that. Make sure it's lined up, make sure that these clips are going behind it, and then it seats in like that. So I'm just going to press down until we hear some clips click like that, and then I believe that is in. There we go. So now it's time for the pillar trim to go back on. Obviously that one is broke, that one's stayed on the car luckily. But the slots into the grooves. There we are. Right, so all we need to do now is to fit the screws back into place. So I'll cut and I'll come back to you when it's done. So here we go, this is the new trims that are on the car. And then as we slowly work to the back, yeah, that was the before. So we're going to do this one now. Slightly different procedure with it in the rear door, but right, it just makes it look so much better, doesn't it, really? I mean, look at that. I mean, obviously this needs doing at some point. About 50, I just had a look on eBay, one of them's about 50 quid, so I'll probably just get a replacement after the welding's done, because that'll make more sense, really. It's just that these were so hard to come by in good condition. I thought, well, I'll have to get them because I don't know when the next lot will come up. So we'll get this one done now. Okay, so same procedure. We have to pull back this to reveal the screws. I think there's one just up there. Ignore my mucky fingers, I do apologise. There's one there, and I believe there's one there, and then there's one there at the bottom. Right, but it turns out there's a slightly different procedure with the rear ones, because they've got a seal on them on the side, so just be wary of that. You've got a little grommet that goes around this hole here that sits in the back at the top here, which I'll show you just now. Come round here, you'll see, just peel the seal back. There's a little grommet there, that little black thing there. You have to obviously pull it round the hole, and that should release it. So there we go. Now all we need to do is do the same and remove this. Right then, so I've managed to remove the rear one. Here is the new one. I've cleaned the fabric again, and all the trims are in good condition. All the clips are in good condition. Now if we pay our attention to this side, what we want to do is we want to make sure that this slots in to here, like so. Make sure it's pushed down, and then obviously you want to make sure that this is all lined up, which it is. In fact, yep, that's good. Let's move on clips there, because the clips need to be on this ledge here. They can't go in this bit here. They have to be on the taller ledge. And then I just want to make sure it slides into place ever so slightly. Make sure that this end is still in position, which it is. And then we want to make sure that it sits in, there we go, like that. Like so. So there we go. That's another one on. Brilliant. Good news. I also managed to not break these 4 clips here. So these can go to good use if I ever need them again, which I'm dead chuffed about. For some reason the rear ones didn't break whatsoever. These are off the front pair. They did slightly break, however they still grip on to the waist rail and the door ledge, because it's not actually fully broken. It's only just snapped halfway. So yeah, what I did was I just slid those off and then made sure that they didn't break. So I'm going to put these to one side. As you can see, this is a really broken one, where it just, you know, this is the thing, they just like to break because they're all plastic, but I'm glad that 8 of them have actually come out okay, so that's good. Right then, so what I just need to do now is fit the plastic trim back on to here. I'm doing this one-handed, and the door doesn't have any things on, so it likes to fold back because we took the door off, you see, on this side. So it comes off. Right, so that's seated in position at the top. Make sure it's seated in position at the bottom. Make sure that the seal comes around here and sits on this ledge here, like so. And then what you need to do is, you've got this little hole here. You need to make sure that goes behind this, and then goes over that grommet in there. I know it's hard to see because of the sunlight and fingers and stuff, but you'll know what to do if you ever need to do this job anyway. Now that grommet is back in, what I did was I just easily pulled it out and then lined it up with the hose on the seals and then just put it back in. That's probably the easiest way, rather than trying to wrap the seal around the head of the grommet. Okay, so right, I've fitted the pillar trim and I've also fitted this, which is all good. Treated it with some vinyl and rubber care and bumper and trim gel just to give it a nice finish and just to protect the plastic from UV damage and stuff like that. So there we go. That is a lot better than these horrible rusty and, well, downright terrible trims. So that is a massive improvement and I'm well chuffed with that. That is so much better. So there we go, that's another little job ticked off the list. So there we go. Thank you ever so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.